right, man. Let's get into it, man. There's a lot of stuff to talk about in the NBA, man. We got to start with what happened a couple days ago with Jason Tatum, man. Jason Tatum ruptured his Achilles in game 4 of the Eastern Conference semifinals against the New York Knicks. Knicks are currently up 3-2 after getting lambasted. He said, I'm calling ice on that, man. All right, let's relax. Let's relax. I can't be taken out of here. I know that damn much. I was born anyway. But they after getting blown out in game 4. This is 3-2 series. But one thing that stood out to me about this Jason Tatum thing, by the way, we hope Jason Tatum gets 100% healthy. Yeah. We all know I am not the biggest fan, but that don't mean I want to see the man hurt. He has been one of the brightest stars in the NBA. He has accomplished so much in his young career, obviously. And you want to see Jason Tatum play. He was cooking in that game. I thought we were going to have one of the classic battles that we look at years from now with him and Jalen, not Jalen, but Jalen Brown. You know what I'm saying? Not Jalen Brown, Jalen Brunson. Too many Jasons in the Jalen's in the NBA. And then he went down. But the thing that stood out to me was how quickly they had the surgery. I remember it was like 2:00. I'm like, man, the Celtics ain't announced no news. We ain't got no Shams alert. And they said he had surgery already. So surgery went well, clean break. He's not gonna be back to the 2026-2027 season. Even when he gets back, we don't know what he's gonna look like. Not a good thing. He didn't tear the Achilles in his jumping leg, which hopefully that helps his ability to continue to be as fast as he is and be able to make the same moves as he has. But it's unprecedented. We haven't seen somebody his age have this kind of injury. This usually happens when somebody who's in their 30s, like a Kevin Durant, like a Damian Lillard, like a Isaiah Thomas, and things like that. But and Kobe Bryant. But one thing we have seen, even with KD has been getting nagging injuries ever since. KD hasn't played the entire season, even close to the entire season since he ruptured his Achilles. Klay Thompson, he had peaks and valleys when he came back in 2022 year. The Warriors won their last championship. Even Klay is a shell of himself and has not even been remotely close to where he was defensively. So that's going to be a drop. But the bigger question here is, especially with seeing how tonight's game goes, and we'll talk about that later in the hour, is the Celtics window officially closed, man? Because they got some big financial decisions to make with the second apron and with new ownership. Mariano, what was your thoughts when you saw the injury and, what you feel about the Celtics future?
Yeah, number one, I do hope that, he heals up well and everything, man. And I was just having this conversation with some of the homies. 10, 15 years ago, we used to look at stuff like the ACL injury as like, damn, it might be over with. Now you tell your ACL, you probably be back and better than ever in 9 months. I still have yet to see anybody come back from an Achilles injury and be who they were or a step, better. So it's like, I don't want to be pessimistic about this and sound like it's some negative shit. But what I will say to Boston fans, here's the silver lining in it. He didn't do this on your championship run. You got your championship out of this, out of that duo, out of that core group of guys that y'all had, you put together. You hope that he can come back and just be productive again. But like seeing it happen and like you can hear it and it's kind of like you can feel the vibe and it's like, damn, man, that might be that might, you don't want to say it. You don't want to put that out there, but I think we all knew, like what time it was. I'm just like I said, I'm trying to look on the bright side of it. I'm just happy that he was able to get his championship because he is a bright young star in the NBA, and we thought that Boston team had the potential. I came on here and picked them to win the championship again this year before the playoffs started. Like they were my pick. Yeah, because I just didn't see anybody beating them in the 7-game series. And I mean, and hats off to the Knicks because the Knicks, as much shit we can give them for getting down 20 points, they dug themselves out of that, twice, and they won those games, so they were up, rightfully so. But yeah, I hope he comes back and he could be productive, man. It's just it's tough, but I mean, shit, y'all got a ring out of it, man. So shit, hey.
Dante, what's your thoughts on it?
I hate to see it, bro. I hate to see it, but I think with Boston, I don't want to say the window is closed because it's a really talented team. When you look at everything they've got, and you look at that they have their 2 best players locked in. I understand how the second apron works and everything, but if Jaylen Brown is still Jaylen Brown, you bring back Jason Tatum at whatever capacity you have him, and if anything, you got to reshuffle the deck around him. But as far as those two, I think you still got two very elite players. Him, tearing it at 27 and going immediately into surgery. I think this may be one of those moments because even with the ACL, like there was I feel like it was a quick flip to where, it was a career. It went from being a career-ending injury to where we saw guys have it, get the surgery, recover, and actually come back. So maybe, this is one of those moments where we see a younger guy tear his Achilles and come back and he's still able to be like, 80, 85, even 90% or more, or, the same player. So, I mean, I wouldn't say the window is closed, but I'm with you, Maury. Like, thank God you got your ring last year because you would have hate for this to happen before you got to the mountaintop after everything that this group had been through. But I think the ramifications are simply you have to just really be ready to shuffle that deck because we've seen a lot of teams wait on guys to come back and become their former self, and that never happens. And then you really fuck. So it's, obviously monitor it close, but it's not time to panic here.
Bang, what's your thoughts on it?
Man, my thoughts is the window. If they got two superstars on the team, a lot of people been talking about how they had two superstars on the team. You got Tatum and you got Brown. Then no, I don't think that their window is closed because if we think that highly of Jaylen Brown, then we got to think highly of the whole team in general. Now we'll see what happens. Was tonight the next game? We'll see what happens because I was actually quite surprised that they were able to pull it off because normally you lose a star. In the way that they lost them in the dramatic fashion that they lost them, you would think that the team won't be able to come back. But Jaylen Brown switched up things a little bit in this game and they was able to win and win convincingly. And really, when you go into Madison Square Garden, and I believe I heard that the Knicks have not closed out a game in Madison Square Garden in a while. Normally, when a team goes into Madison Square Garden, the pressure's on them. No, the pressure's on the Knicks not to go back to Boston. So if this team and these players are who we think they are, their window is not closed. They just fell back into the pack.
Catch I'm Not Gonna Hold You, hosted by Scott Lewis, every Monday and Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific, only on HNB Media and the Barbershop Network.